This came in an article on Above the Law. You can find it on abovethelaw.com. They come out with a lot of stuff, which is pretty cool in regards to people thinking they're above the law. The domain says it all. Jean Valjean once stole a loaf of bread to feed his starving family during a down economy in France. Despite this crime, Valjean is regarded as a hero who stole only when it was absolutely necessary. Then after, he devoted his life to helping others and serving God. I thought of Les Miserables' story when I read a distressing tale of it in an ABA journal this morning, American Bar Association. And it goes on. California bar officials are blaming the recession for an increase in lawyers being investigated for pilfering client funds or collecting fees to modify mortgages without doing anything to help. The State Bar of California is investigating 1,200 loan modification cases and more than 300 lawyers who were involved, the Fresno Bee reports. More lawyers are also being accused of mishandling client funds, according to Carol Langford, a lawyer who defends lawyers accused of ethical wrongdoing. Most of the lawyers under investigations were retired or relatively new to the practice. I disagree with that. They're all over the board. But probably the ones in the investigations were either new or whatever. And that's what I'm finding is a lot of these mortgage brokers would find these guys that were making no money or weren't working at a law firm, and then they would entice them with money. And greed would set in for all these guys involved. And unfortunately, these attorneys that work hard for 8 years to get their license are blinded, and now they're going to suffer the consequences from their deeds. All right, the article goes on. Should we feel sorry for California lawyers forced into a life of crime? I guess the argument is that lawyers wouldn't steal if clients just paid their bills on time, the Fresno Bee reports. This recession has been especially hard on lawyers, said Carol Langford, a San Francisco lawyer who defends lawyers before the California State Bar Court in disbarment cases. In past downturns, again, this is in the past, lawyers were among the last professionals affected because clients usually put a priority on paying legal bills, Langford said, but not this time. Not everyone is waiting until the very last minute to pay a lawyer, she said. Along with losing clients, lawyers have lost money in the stock market and lost value in their homes, assets that could have kept them going until the economy turned around. So everybody is freaking broke on Main Street, all right? And these lawyers in the suits and, with their designations on the freaking walls, they're no different from you out there, okay? They just got these, these degrees that say they're an attorney and they could practice law, which is great and fine and dandy, but they're no better than you and I. It's just they got a legal designation. And a lot of them are turning to a life of crime because they have no other skills. Unfortunately, they spent 8 years, trying to get their law degree, and they have no other degrees, no other skills. So, once one pot is done filling, there's no more buckets to fill because they don't have no more skill buckets to put out there in this economy to try to make money. And they're turning to a